Hello my friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Elaine and today we're looking at the completed journal from Junk Journal July. So I have a video showing how I made the cover and then I have a bunch of videos showing how I made every single spread. But for today we're just going to take a look at the completed journal, see what it's like now that it is full. So Junk Journal July was hosted by Creativity and Coffee. There was a few other ones going on by a few other creators. So there's a few different prompt lists out there for the month. And actually Ink and Page Journals had one where she was giving away freebies to go along with the prompt list. So if you want to check out that one, I'm not sure if you can still get the freebies. They were in her newsletter, but that is out there as an option as well. So before we start looking at everything, I just want to thank Creativity and Coffee for hosting, coming up with the prompt list. And then I want to thank everyone who joined my channel or subscribed to my channel during the challenge. It really means so much to me that you tuned into my videos and decided you liked it enough to actually subscribe. So thank you so much and welcome. And I also want to say that while we're going through these spreads, there'll be some of them that I don't like very much, because I think it's normal when you're creating something like this that you don't like every spread all that much. Like some of them you'll love, some of them you won't like so much. So I will be saying that for a few of them. And I'm not looking for reassurance or anything like that. I think it's normal to not like everything that you make. So let's start. Let's get into it. So my book has 32 pages and obviously there was 31 prompts. So for the very first page I decided to make a title page, just this little intro to the journal. And for July I was also planning on doing Jane Austen July, and I wanted to tie that in a bit with Junk Journal July, and I think I only lasted like 4 or 5 spreads doing that. It was just a little bit too difficult to try and make everything Regency as well, where I just didn't have ideas, and then eventually I just forgot about it. So our very first prompt then is Star. So this is the spread that I did for Star. So I have some washi tapes with the star signs and some space elements, the planets, some stars, moons, I think various celestial and horoscopy type stuff. I don't know what the actual term is, but that's what I did. Very simple spread to start out with, and I added this Regency element to it as well. I think in my mind it's like I've seen some kind of steampunky style things where they are Victorian. I know Victorian is much earlier, more recent than Regency, but they have like the large telescopes and watching the stars and things like that. So I think they do go. I don't know anything about watching the skies during the Regency era, but I'm sure they did it as well. Next then is Shadow. And what I was going for with Shadow was trying to create a drop shadow look with using some paste and a stencil, and I used a black marker then to create the shadow. And then I have some of the phases of the moon to tie it into the previous prompt, and then it looks like it is shadow over the moon. So that works. And then here we just have some washi and this Pride and Prejudice book with some shadows on it. And then just some other little elements. This is a painting that I did, and I can't remember what my thinking was when I added this in, but that is there as well. So that is those two. Next then we have Summer, and for this one I just kind of went with summery colors, summery tones, so kind of pastels, a little bit shabby chic, and just a few interactive elements. Oh yeah, I was thinking of picnicking is what I was thinking of, which is something they do in Regency books. They go off to nice places for a picnic. And then we have these elements, and then inside here we have a lovely journaling card with an illustration from a Jane Austen book. And this lovely envelope is from a kit from Chapter 1 Papers on Etsy, which I will link in the description. Next then we have botanical, and this is the first of my 3D pages that I created. I love doing this in journals, just adding flowers and kind of bulky elements, which is why I made such a large spine on my journal. So for this one, I really like this one. So happy with this. So my thoughts was for botanical was like a garden wall. So we have our wall and then we have our little flowers and some signs to be up on our wall. And this was done with a stencil and some paste. And then next we have opening, and the wall from this side, it left texture on this page, and I said I would use that for this one and created a window in a wall. And see, it's a bit raised to cast a shadow and just give more of this feeling that you're looking inside a room. And then I decided to add the flowers underneath it again. Really happy with that one, really enjoyed it. Next then we have thankful, and for this one I decided to do books because I love books so much, so I'm thankful for books. And this is an illustration from a Jane Austen book as well, and then we have all these books all around it, and this flips over, and I wanted to put something else in here but I never got around to it. Very simple, this is just washi, so this was very simple, very quick one to do. And then we have travel. So for this one, I had all these bits and pieces to do with hot air balloons. So I decided to make a simple collage using those. So that's there, I just kind of put them down, didn't think too much about it, they're just gone down. And in this envelope then I have a postcard with an illustration from Jane Austen, and they're up on their horse and carriage, so traveling there as well. And then next is bags. So this one I kind of half like, half don't like. This one, I like the travel one, I'm not too keen on either. It's fine. I like the illustrations of the hot air balloons, but I don't really like how I put them together. And then with bags, this is a bag from a shop. I don't know how to say it. That shop. And I love this page that I made with the Jane Austen illustration, and the two ladies, they have little bags, and then I put these elements inside it. The envelope and these elements are from that chapter 1 papers kit again. Really like that. And then what I did with the actual bag then is I created little windows and put these elements in it, and then put washi and scraps around it. But I don't like this. This is just really messy looking. But it was actually enjoyable to do it. I just don't really like the end result. I would like to take away all this and put something much simpler around the frames. Next then we have forest, and for forest I used a test print that I have for one of my kits in my Etsy shop. So this is part of the Celtic Fairy kit, which has it has a folio and loads of ephemera elements in it. So the Celtic Fairy kit has 3 kits in the series, and this is part of one of them. And we can just open this up, and then it's filled with a few bits of ephemera that I added washi and a few various other elements to the kit for this, just to make it more forest themed, like the pockets were forest. And then we have fairies, which are very forest, because forest to me makes me think of fairy tales. I just added some collaging with washi and some stickers just to make it pop a bit more. So this is a test print, which isn't exactly the same as what's in the kit, but you can get this exact test print on my coffee page. Next then we have freedom, and this is a fairly simple collage again, but I really like this one. And for freedom I chose representing the postal service, because the invention of the post box gave women a lot more freedom to communicate with each other, so that is what I wanted to represent in my page for freedom. So that's what we have, and these actually open up, and that's another Jane Austen illustration. Next then we have stripes, You can see our stripes here at the back. Stripes always make me think of my mother because she loves stripy tops. And anytime I see one anywhere, my first thought is just of my mother. So I decided to do this page about my mother. So we have our stripes, and then we have hydrangeas, which are her favorite flower. And then we have a lady here reading a book, and the lady here drinking wine, which my mother loves, tea and wine and reading. So this is all representative of my mother. Next then we have secret note, and we have this little, what do you call this? The circle envelope where it opens up like that. And we have a little secret note inside. This has a special fold as well that I'm not able to put back together, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to undo it. Just put it back in there. This one is easy to close, just like that. And then we have these elements here that are hiding things. So yeah, there's that one. Really like that one. And then we have junk mail. So for junk mail, I used these little tiny envelopes that came in the post. It's a box of envelopes they're for giving collection money to the church, but we don't go to the church. We don't go to mass. So they're actually addressed to my parents, but my parents aren't here for the majority of the year. They live in Spain. So I just used them for journaling. So they were a bright pink color, and I painted them and made this different color scheme to what I would normally do. And I kind of have mixed feelings about it. Like, there's a reason I don't normally do it, though I do think the elements are quite cute and I like the colors. It's just, I guess it's just not a style that I gravitate towards, so I feel kind of about it. So inside the envelopes then we have these little journaling elements. And these are a mix of things from things that I have made, which is this lady here, some scraps, and then more elements from that chapter 1 papers kit. Next then is desk setup slash workspace. So this is a photograph of where I am right now from the outside. So I'm in our kitchen that we don't use the table of. So it's my table now for doing journaling and stuff. And it is just a fabulous space. Beautiful. I absolutely love it. It's kind of like a little mini conservatory. So we've got big windows around us. It's very hot in here because I'm basically in a greenhouse, but I love it. In winter it is really nice. In summer it's just beautiful. It just gets very hot. And I have a fabulous view because there isn't any houses next to us on this side. I'm just looking out into fields and I can see, not a mountain, I can see a big hill in the distance, and it's just lovely. So I included then some elements to represent what I do in here. Well, my cats like to hang out in here with me, love photography, and then I have a typewriter just because I used to blog a lot. I don't blog as much as I used to, so I used to always be writing. And then I have a journal here with some flowers because we've got a lovely rose flower bed in front of me. Next then we have time capsule, and for this one what I wanted to do was books again. I was thinking specifically of a library book and how it lives such a long life and it influences so many people. So it may not be a very accurate interpretation of time capsule, but I think it is when you get the book like after a certain amount of time and you see all the dates on it and how it's affected so many people. It does show the passage of time for that book, I guess. So that is what I did, and I feel okay about this spread. I think it's, with all the writing, it is a bit messy. Maybe I shouldn't have used 3 of these, but I do love these Bookspine washi stickers. Next then is circle, and I really enjoyed doing this one. This one was a lot of fun to make. It's just simple watercolor, and I used a thing to make the circles properly, and then I just watercolored them in a few different colors and added this piece of paper that I had and the stickers. And yeah, very simple but very enjoyable, and I really like how it turned out. Next then is sunrise / sunset, and I was thinking of the sunrise in The Lion King to get those kind of colors, which I didn't really achieve. That's a much darker kind of sunrise, but this was really enjoyable to do. I have this stencil of this clock face with flowers, and it's 5 o'clock on it, and 5 a.m. is around when the sun rises here at the moment. Well, it's getting later now, but during the summer, during July, the sun would rise around 5. So that is what I did. Very simple. It's done on some watercolor sketch pad paper, and it was really enjoyable to do it as well. I really like how it turned out. There isn't much going on the page, but I think it's nice. I like the colors, and I like the effect of the clock face and the flowers and everything being this bronzy metallic color. Next then we have Torn. This is one of my favorite ones in the whole journal. So I just used crackle paint, a lot of crackle paint on the base, and we got this lovely texture here. And I went over it with an ink pad then and just added some torn book page paper, and I put a little bit of the crackle paint on the edges, which gave us this really good curling, this strong curling. And then I made this little scroll and little key thing there. So this is my favorite, and then there's kept on with this little clip. So this is probably my favorite in the whole journal. Next then we have Keepsake. So Keepsake to me is this kind of old-fashioned idea. So I thought also makes me think of lockets. So you know, you keep a locket on your neck with a photo of someone you love in it, or a lock of hair or something like that. So I decided to put this locket image here. I don't have a chain on it. A chain would actually look so nice on it. And then I wanted to try out this marbling paint that I have, and I hope it comes up there. I really loved the effect of the marbling paint. And then the crackling paint on this side caused all this texture on this page, and I decided to highlight it a bit more by adding some metallic gold paint over it. So that's what we have for Keepsake. It's also one I really like. And then we have Art Deco, which makes me think of The Great Gatsby. So I got gold paint on him, which makes me think of The Great Gatsby. So I wanted to include this image of this man, and then this design I made with a stencil. I think it has Art Deco vibes. And I chose the color scheme then based on that blue book cover for The Great Gatsby. And then I just added some other decorative elements. I quite like it. I enjoyed doing that one. I don't know if it really represents Art Deco, but I really like it. I really enjoyed making it as well. Next then is Wanderlust. So we have this one here. And it's a collage made with junk, actual junk for the first time in the junk journal. So these are just those strips that you add to your suitcase. So it's from my last trip, which was in December, to Gran Canaria, and a Ryanair flight. So that's what that is from. And then I didn't really know what to do with it. I don't actually like it. It's not how I like to do things. Don't like the colors. I don't like the writing, the text, the way it is. So yeah, not my style. So I decided to add this acetate and this picture of a lady going for a walk, like she's out wandering, and some washi, and just kind of partially cover it over. I think the spread definitely needed something more. So that's that one. And next then is Shimmer, when I wanted to try out what shimmery eyeshadow would look like on a paper. Didn't really turn out very well, but I think you can kind of get the idea that it's shimmery. It's hard to see it. And then I have this pearlescent paint going around it. It's shimmery to me. I don't know if it comes up on the camera, but there is that one. Don't really like that either, but it's fine. It was I was trying out something new, so that's always good. Next then we have field notes. Really like this one. Simple collage, very straightforward. Made this little book to be like our little field notes book. For my field notes, I was imagining that they were doing notes on sea life. So that's what we have. I'm very happy with that one. Very simple, straightforward, but I like it. I added the gold paint then into the underneath the tears in the paper. Next then we have contrast. So what I've done is contrasting colors, and then this is very contrasting to pretty much everything else in the journal and how I like to create in general. This is very different. So there's this style of journaling that kind of looks like magazine spreads actually. All right, it's very Instagrammy or Pinteresty. Yeah, it looks like a magazine. And I wanted to try that out. So this is my attempt at it. I quite like it. I'm happy with it. It's very simple and very clean in comparison to everything else. Like I always ink edges on things. I didn't do anything like that here. But I like how it turned out, and I might try it more in other journals. Next then we have triangle. So I went with a kind of shabby chic tones again for this one. And you can see my triangles here. I just used a stencil to make these and added some coloring. I used kitchen roll to create this texture on the back. And this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing this. It was very simple, but I quite like the colors that I ended up with. Used some elements from that chapter 1 papers kit again. I think it's quite pretty. I like it. Yeah, pretty page. And next then we have vintage, which I made to match this one. So I added those triangles again, done a bit more texturing around the page, and then just added a little cluster with a paper clip. Lovely portrait of a lovely lady there. Next then we have peak, and I decided to do a little call back to earlier in the journal and try that wall thing again. It's more rustic looking, and then I added this little lady peeking out the window. Don't like this one as much as the other wall ones at the start of the journal, but it was still enjoyable. I liked doing it. Next then we have cursive, and I was getting a little bit lazy I think at this stage. So I don't like my handwriting, and I can't write cursive. I actually don't like writing because I hold my pen really tightly and my hand gets sore, so I don't really like writing. So I added some collaging with some lovely writing on it, and I said I'd just write my name. It's the thing I'm most used to writing, so it's like it'll probably be the easiest thing for me to actually write in cursive. And I figured I may as well sign the book. Next then we have ribbon. So I used this as my ribbon. It's really some lace trim, but you know, it works, it's fine. And we're back to a shabby chic feminine color scheme for this. I really like it. It's not something I would normally do, but I really like it, so I might do a whole journal like that at some stage. And I added in these little elements into the pockets. Some of these are from my stash in general, and then some of them are from the chapter 1 paper kit again. Various things, and a lovely portrait of Jane Austen, just to go back to that again. And then this one is favorite place. And for favorite place, I was a bit kind of loose with the prompt again. For favorite place, I decided to do somewhere, or to represent somewhere where you can feel natural and comfortable and just the most yourself. So for this one, I decided to just go with the flow kind of a thing and just let the spread come together naturally, where I just start and see where I end up. And this is where I ended up. Now with my colors, I was thinking of matching it up with this page so it wouldn't be like a big contrast to it. I tried out a few different things here, making this little cluster. And then I did all sorts of experimenting with the background. Really hard to see it there, you can't see it. Yeah, there it is. There's a lot going on under there. But I love texture, and I just added a few different types of texture to the background. And lastly then, we have gold, our very last spread in the journal. So really enjoyed doing this. This was a lot of fun. I tried out something new with the marbling paint to try to get it to marble a little bit more. And then I went over the gold. I using the marbling paint here. It goes over somewhere around here. And then I added another gold and went over it with some blue watercolor paint. I really, really like how it looks. I love the effect of it. I will probably be trying that a bit more in journals. And then I had this little bracelet with a charm from the Rituals advent calendar, and I decided to add that in. And then it came in this envelope that I decided to add this little owl in. Quite like that little owl. That's from the Chapter 1 Papers kit as well. I added a little page with prompts at the end then as well, with the background theming into this one. So I keep losing petals and things. So that is it. That's the entire journal. I absolutely loved making this. It was such a great challenge. First challenge I ever managed to actually complete, and I really look forward to doing it again. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one.